Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Hunter's Brief on the Hunting Stories podcast, your quick hit for hunting and fishing news. I'm your host, Michael, bringing you stories from national to international, packed with what matters to hunters and anglers. Let's dive into the wild. Public land sales stripped from the federal budget bill. A controversial amendment to sell over 500,000 acres of public land in Utah and Nevada was removed from the House Budget Reconciliation Bill, known as the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, on May 21st. Initially proposed by Rep. Celeste Malloy and Rep. Mark Omaday of Utah and Nevada, respectively, the provisions targeted Bureau of Land Management lands for housing and infrastructure, but faced pushback from conservationists and lawmakers like Rep. Ryan Zink from Montana. Over 100 organizations, including the Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership, opposed the sale, citing risks to wildlife habitats near Zion National Park. The Senate may still revisit the issue, per Senator Mike Lee of Utah's comment from Politico. This matters because preserving these lands ensures continued access for hunters, anglers, and recreationists while protecting critical habitats. Public land saved, guess the auction block's out of business. Federal deficit concerns could impact conservation funding. Economists warn that a growing U.S. deficit potentially exceeding 113% of the GDP may limit future conservation funding, as reported by the New York Times on May 20th. Proposed tax and spending bills could strain resources for agencies like the U.S. Forest Service. This might affect habitat restoration and public land access. Michael Boren's nomination to lead the Forest Service raises questions about balancing development and conservation. This matters because reduced funding could shrink wildlife programs and access to hunting grounds, hitting conservation efforts hard. Big deficits might mean fewer bucks, both deer and dollars. Florida considers reviving a bear hunt. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is discussing reinstating an annual bear hunt. This was last approved in 2015. With over 4,300 black bears and the populations rising, with human encounters also rising, at least 6,000 nuisance calls in 2024, a hunt could help to manage these populations. Wildlife advocates oppose it, however, citing outdated population data. A decision is pending at the FWC's Ocala meeting. If you're in Florida, make sure you attend. This matters because a bear hunt could balance populations, but spark debate over wildlife management ethics. Bears in the burbs? Florida's got a grisly decision to make. Washington bans feeding deer, elk, and moose. As of May, Washington State has made it illegal to feed deer, elk, and moose to curb disease spread at feeding sites. The law targets human-created feeding spots that concentrate animals unnaturally. Violators will face penalties, though enforcement details are still pending. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife is leading education efforts. No snacks for Bambi? Keep the buffet closed. Ohio increases antlerless deer limit on public lands. The Ohio Wildlife Council raised the antlerless deer limit from 1 to 2 on public lands for the 2025-2026 season, starting September 27, 2025. Deer management permits are now valid on these lands per a May 5th report. The archery season runs through February 1st, 2026. Chronic wasting disease surveillance areas were also expanded. This matters because more tags mean more opportunity, but CDW monitoring could tighten future regulations. Utah's new wildlife laws have taken effect. Utah's 2025 legislative session passed bills affecting wildlife effective May 2025. Non-resident hunting and fishing licenses fees have increased, and wildlife management area access now requires a valid license in several counties. The law says it is funding habitat protection. They also regulate hunting guides. This matters because higher fees and stricter access rules could impact out-of-state hunters, but could also support conservation. Utah's wildlife laws: pay up or stay out. California updates black bear management plan. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife released its first black bear management plan, updated in 27 years in April. Based on extensive research and public input, it addresses the state's 60,000 black bears. The plan balances conservation and hunting regulations. Details on hunting seasons are forthcoming. This matters because updated data ensures sustainable bear hunting and habitat management. California's bears get a new playbook. Let's hope that they read it. Welsh environment law targets wildlife recovery. Wales introduced a law on June 2nd to protect rivers and reverse wildlife loss, per the BBC. It sets ambitious targets for public bodies to create natural recovery plans. 1 out of every 6 species in Wales is currently at risk, per a 2023 stocktake. Specific targets will be set post-legislation. This matters because healthier ecosystems mean better hunting and fishing opportunities for UK sportsmen. Wales. Wildlife gets a lifeline. Hope the fish are hooked. South Africa expands big game hunting permits. South Africa's Department of Forestry, Fisheries, and Environment has issued new big game hunting permits for 2025, effective May 30th. The policy targets sustainable culling of elephants and rhinos. It actually follows a 2024 population survey. Strict oversight ensures conservation. This matters because expanding permits offers hunters more opportunity, and it also helps protect these endangered species. Big game, big rules. South Africa is keeping it wild but wise. That's a wrap for the Hunter's Brief. From new refuge access to global game laws, we've got you covered. Tune in next time for more wild updates, and keep your boots muddy and your lines tight.